Welcome to the Deep Dive. We've got a really interesting set of sources today, all focused on, well, a pretty specific setup, an AWS calendar invite server.
Yeah, it sounds niche, but the concepts behind it are quite powerful.
Absolutely. Our mission here is to unpack how this system uses things you already have, like your Outlook or Google Calendar, to send out potentially millions of calendar invites and, crucially, track them.
It's about taking that simple act of adding something to your calendar and turning it into this scalable communication pipeline. Very clever.
And the sources use a great example to show its muscle, sport schedules. Think MLB 162 games per team. That's a lot of data, a lot of potential updates.
Right, a perfect test case for both the transactional side, sending the invites, and the marketing aspect of tracking engagement.
Okay, let's unpack this. So where does it all start? The data itself.
It usually begins with sourcing the schedule data. The sources mention sites like fixturedownload.com.
Oh.
These often provide the data as standard ICS files. The goal initially is just making it super easy for the person organizing things.
Right. And the sources mention it's fast, like getting a whole MLB season onto your personal calendar.
Yeah, something like 5 minutes. You just use the bulk import feature that's already in Outlook or Google Calendar, upload the ICS file.
Simple enough. But if you're dealing with, say, multiple teams, maybe thousands of events, like the source mentions with MLB, you need to keep that organized on your end first. Right?
Exactly. That's crucial. You'd create a specific calendar first, maybe call it Athletics 2024 or something, just for those events. Keep it separate.
So you have your athletics games neatly tucked away in their own calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? How does AWS even know about it?
This is the really clever bit, the technical pivot. You ingest the data into the AWS server using, well, just the copy command in your calendar.
Wait, the copy command, like right-click copy?
Yep. You copy the event or events from your Athletics 2024 calendar, and you paste or send it to a specific email address linked to the AWS setup, like create@calendarsnack.com was the example used.
So you're emailing the event to register it with the server.
Essentially, yes. That email address acts as the trigger. Once you do that initial copy, the system knows about that event.
Okay, that sounds almost too simple for managing potentially millions of invites. What about updates, deleting games, changing times?
That's the beauty. It uses CRUD, create, read, update, delete, but the calendar client handles it.
Oh.
Once that event is registered via the copy, any change you make in your normal calendar, change the time, add details, delete it, and hit save, that update automatically flows through to the AWS server pipeline. The databases, the Lambdas, the APIs, they all get the update.
So no logging into some separate admin panel for the calendar server itself?
None. Your calendar desktop or mobile is the master control. It keeps things simple, uses tools you already know, and really cuts down on data getting out of sync.
Okay, I get the user end now. Very slick. But let's dive into the AWS architecture that makes this flow possible. It feels like there has to be some complexity under the hood.
Oh, absolutely. But the design philosophy was key. Keep it lightweight.
Lightweight, meaning cheap. The source mentions running it for pennies.
Potentially, yes. Compared to dedicated scheduling software, the cost can be minimal because it primarily leverages services you might already be paying for in AWS or services with very low per transaction costs.
And the main one is SES, right? Simple email service.
Exactly. It hinges on the organizer having an AWS account with SES enabled. SES isn't just for sending, it can receive email too.
So that created email address we mentioned?
That's just a mailbox set up within the organizer's SES domain. It's configured specifically to capture that incoming calendar data when you copy the event to it.
And setting all this up, it's not months of coding.
No, the sources mention a CloudFormation template. You run that, and it automatically provisions all the necessary AWS bits and pieces.
Including APIs. I saw something about 9 APIs.
Yeah, the template sets up the core services and also deploys 9 APIs designed for specific tasks, sending invites, gathering tracking data, things like that. Ready to go.
Okay, let's trace the path. The calendar data arrives as an email in that SES inbox. What happens then? This is the ETL part, right?
Yeah.
Extract, transform, load.
Correct. It kicks off a sort of disassembly line. First, SNS Simple Notification Service spots the new email.
Like a lookout.
Kind of. It sees the mail and immediately sends a notification message to SQS, which is the Simple Queue service.
SQS. It's like a waiting room, a buffer.
Exactly. It's vital. If loads of updates come in at once, SQS holds them safely in a queue. It prevents the system from getting swamped and losing data. Reliability step one.
Got it. So the data's queued up safely. Who does the actual work on it?
That's where a Lambda function comes in, usually written in Python, according to the source. Lambda is like the processing worker.
Oh,
It picks up a message from the SQSQ, and this is the transform stage. It takes that raw calendar data, which is basically structured text,
right, the ICS format.
and breaks it down. Pulls out the event ID, the title, time, description, location, all the pieces. Then it loads these individual components into DynamoDB.
DynamoDB, the NoSQL database. So it stores the event data, but broken down.
Yes, stored efficiently, ready to be quickly reassembled later when an actual invite needs to be sent out to MNDs.
And for sending the invites out to potentially thousands or millions of people, it uses SES again. But something specific. The raw SES API.
That's a key technical detail, especially for global reach.
Why raw? What's the advantage?
Control over encoding. Calendar invites use the ICS standard, and getting character encoding right is critical, especially for different languages or special characters.
Ah, so accents, non-Latin alphabets.
Exactly. Using the raw API means the system sends the ICS data precisely as intended, without SES or other email systems potentially messing with the encoding. It ensures the invite looks perfect on any calendar client, anywhere, market ready, globally.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Moving from the plumbing to how you actually use this. The sources frame it as a killer app replacement for the Add to Calendar button.
Yeah, that ubiquitous little button. This aims to be much more powerful.
How so? The main use case seems to be these embedded web pages.
Right. The system can automatically generate simple landing pages using the event data stored in DynamoDB. These pages often have a box where someone enters their email.
Like a self-subscribe thing.
Exactly. They put in their email, click a button like, send me the invite. And that's where API tag 1 comes in.
API number 1, what does it do?
It takes the event's unique ID, takes the email address the person just entered, pulls the corresponding event details from DynamoDB, builds the complete ICS invite on the fly, and uses SES to send it directly to that person's inbox.
Okay, but why? Why go through all that instead of just offering a downloadable ICS file with the old Add to Calendar link? What's the real difference?
It's fundamental. A downloadable file is passive.
Yeah.
The user downloads it, maybe imports it, maybe not. You don't really know.
Right.
This system sends a real calendar invitation via email protocols. That invite requests a response from the recipient's calendar client, accept, tentative, decline.
Ah, so you get feedback.
Precisely. It makes the interaction trackable. You know who received it, who opened it, and crucially, who accepted it onto their calendar. That's gold for marketing and planning.
So that tracking enables the transactional and marketing side you mentioned.
Absolutely. It leverages the power of the organizer's SCS, account for scale. The sources say you can target potentially all 2.4 million AWS customers if needed.
Wow. And for sending in bulk?
Couple of ways. You can upload a list like a CSV file directly in the browser. The source mentions sending up to 1,000 at a time that way, with pauses.
Okay.
Or for really massive sends, you can hook it into AWS Pinpoint. Pull your big email lists from there and distribute millions of invites if your campaign needs it.
That covers scale. And the sources listed 4 main ways to get these invites out.
Yeah, basically. Those embedded web pages we talked about, bulk sending to uploaded email lists.
Uh-huh.
A specific RSVP button integration designed for MailChimp, which is popular.
That makes sense.
And then general support for embedding it into templates for about 25 other email marketing platforms, Klaviyo, SendGrid, the usual suspects. So it fits into existing workflows pretty easily.
That integration is key for adoption. Okay, let's talk about the quality of that tracking data. What exactly can you see?
This is where the other APIs come in numbers 2 through 9. API head Sheng1 does the sending. The rest are all about gathering the reporting data.
So what do they report on?
It gets pretty granular. The console, which the organizer or domain owner uses, tracks who was sent an invite, whether they accepted, declined, or were tentative. It can even show things like what type of calendar client they used to respond.
So you know if they're using Outlook, Google, Apple Calendar.
Potentially, yes. It transforms the calendar invite from just a notification into a source of real marketing intelligence. An email click shows interest, maybe. A calendar acceptance, that shows commitment. It's a much stronger signal.
So what does this all mean? Let's boil it down for someone listening.
Well, I think the first big takeaway is the lack of friction. You don't download special software. You use your existing calendar, your existing AWS account. Deployment via CloudFormation is quick.
And the data stays current automatically.
Exactly, because the master copy lives in your calendar. Any change you make there just flows through. The data sent out is always up to date.
It really seems like a shift in thinking about what scheduling is.
It really is. It moves scheduling from being just this passive admin task, here's a link if you want it, to being an active, trackable, managed part of your communication, a measurable event.
You're treating the calendar invite itself as a marketing touchpoint with data.
Yes. Leveraging the trust and universality of the calendar client to power a sophisticated cloud workflow on the back end.
It's a fascinating example of using a simple interface, that copy command, to kick off something complex and scalable. Real architectural elegance there.
So here's something to think about. If this system makes sending millions of trackable custom calendar invites so easy, and the acceptance data is such a high commitment signal, how might that change things? Could we see event subscriptions or even advertising move beyond just hitting the inbox and aiming directly for a guaranteed spot on someone's personal calendar? What does micro-targeting look like when the target is actual scheduled time,